Cool. No, as we were talking last time, we were talking about tension, and I define that was sort of where we left off before we got into female characters in gaming and in media overall, I guess. But my definition of tension was, let's see, I was thinking about it earlier. It's an expectation of a payoff when it comes to stories, at least, but also in life in general. And we sort of agree with both on that definition, right? Yeah, that's good. Cool. Because the thing, right, that I was thinking, I think I told you this, right? I was playing around with ChatGPT, like most people do, and I sort of screwed up or something, but it gave me this really interesting theory about. Now we did talk about this a little, but but we can go. That's sort of also what I wanted to go in depth into more. Is that it gave me this really interesting outline why Nora in Fallout 4. So if you play as a female in Fallout 4, that becomes the canon character of Fallout 4. And it gave me this really interesting, like, sort of in-depth analysis that was really fascinating. And it brought up what I said about about tension and about contrast and stuff. So that's like what I was thinking about, right? I mean, just to summary of the argument was something like, since it's a post-apocalyptic wasteland and you play as a woman who has lost her child, you play as a mother looking and then sort of giving birth again to this wasteland, essentially. And that brings, yes, of course. Yes, the whole fucking, this is a big nuke coming out of her pussy. That's exactly what I meant. That's like, actually, like, she's the bad guy in Fallout 4. Like, 'cause she's the one that just nukes the whole world. It's, yeah, I sort of see that I fucked up a little with the explanation, but I mean, also, her pussy is the bomb. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? I don't want to let me clarify. So what happens is that in this game you can sort of, rebuild the wasteland and everything. So that's what I meant more. It's a rebirth thing, and then birth, and she's a mother and everything. It brings up a whole bunch of contrasts, right? But then it becomes this. No, as I said, like it's about rebirth and stuff. But I mean, yeah, giving birth to wasteland. That sounds. I agree that doesn't really work. I agree with that point. Um, but my point here being is this: that when it comes to, because this is also, and I think this is also what because you told me last time that you had brought up some strong female characters. I don't know if you liked them or if it were the strong female characters that brought up last time, like on screen before we got to talk about them. But yeah, so so what I was just gonna mention before we get into them is this, that it's interesting that when it comes to movies and stuff, it's like if you have a female character in a movie and she's like overpowered, a lot of people say, oh, this is unrealistic and stuff. And then when it's a video game, right, and you play as Nora, or like, yeah, as I said, Nora is a female character in Fallout 4, blah blah blah. Then it's like, yeah, this is fine. And it's like, I don't know if that's hypocritical or not. That's just a thought. What do you think? So let's say most people, like, if they see like a movie, let's say a movie where you have kind of a tiny girl beating up like five guys with no explanation, you know. But then the same thing happens in a video game where you play as a female. Like the movie gets a lot of flack, right, for being unrealistic, but the game doesn't, even though they sort of play by the same rules. The only it's a medium that's different. So, mhm. I hate that I know what you're talking about. By the way, continue. No, I sort of. I mean, I haven't actually considered what you said, that most people the people who would complain are not playing a woman anyway in a video game, so they won't really complain about it anyway. But what I will say is this, right? I sort of think it's like because movies are like meant, they have this expectation of reality to them, right? That, oh, you have to abide by these rules, like you're supposed to be realistic. Where something like Fallout 4, it's more like, it's realistic in quotation marks, right? But I mean, you can't. You mean you punch big rad roaches, with your fists and they die. But that wouldn't really work like that in real life, I think. Hopefully, it doesn't exist. And but to be fair, it doesn't exist, big fuck off rad roaches in fucking uh, real life either. So, but anyway, yeah, I sort of see the point, and it's like this expectation, right? That, oh, this is supposed to be like super realistic and stuff. Because one of the criticisms I never sort of, because the whole She-Hulk thing, like people got really upset about the show and stuff. Like a criticism I never agreed with was when people are like, "Oh, She-Hulk can beat up all these men," and it's like, well, of course she can. She has superhuman strength, and the same with Captain Marvel, right? But to be fair, I don't know if it's like an earlier part of the movie where she's just a woman and you're gonna find them. You're gonna find them with your cousins. Gonna find them with your cousins. Just one guy just shows up and says that you're like, faith in humanity destroyed. Time to invade Poland. That's what's gonna happen. No, I don't know who do fucking Brazil. What country does Brazilians hate? So that's so random to me, but I guess to you would be equally as random when if you asked me that and I said Denmark, it's like okay, that's really weird, awkward too. But when I think about it, is Paraguay is. I just realized Brazil is a fuck off big country, so you almost border every single fucking country in South America. I just realized that. But yeah, anyway, and then it was Captain Marvel, right? And as I said, like, if you want to come with the criticism in the start, like where she doesn't have her powers, sure. But after she's like fucking Captain Marvel, of course she's gonna beat everyone up. But then you obviously have these. But I think the biggest one where it was valid was this movie called Charlie's Angels. Like not the old one that was good, but the new one that was really bad. That one, Charlie's Angels. And in that one they don't have superhuman strength. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, in this one they don't have superhuman strength. They just know like, martial arts. And sure, you here's the thing, right? Obviously, like the problem in that, yeah, in that movie. Oh yeah, no, no, that's the old movie. That's the good ones. Like there was a new. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. The old ones were like the old ones. The women would beat the men by being smart, right? Because they knew that if they went up in a fist-to-fist fight, they would lose. The only one that does it, I think, is Lucy Liu. But it's like explained in the movie why she can take this guy on, and it's like not a big deal that she can like take this one guy out. Because no, yeah, they're friends. I mean, why not? No, listen. Tell us more about this. Tell us more about this poster. What is the? Are they standing with their backs turned against the camera too? Yeah, no, no. I'm just being an asshole. I am. I'm just being an asshole. Here's the thing. What did you say? I didn't hear the last part. I don't know, but who knows? You could be right. I haven't seen. I just the only reason I know the post is because I know the backs are against against the camera, so it's like, okay, so it's kind of like which. Okay, send it to me in the fucking Discord. Which poster are you talking about? Give me one second. Oh, this is the bad one. So in this one, okay, so yeah, yeah, no, no, I was talking about the older one, like the good one. I was really confused. Okay, cool. You should have said it. This one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it was very complicated. Or like, here's the point. In this one that you just sent me, you might be right. Actually, then it might just be that they're lesbian. I should concede the whole point because I thought you were talking about the old one. I mean, it might. I mean, to be, but because I mean, the Warriors did have a all-female gang. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that one was from early 2000, but the very first Charlie's Angels was from the 50s or 60s, I think. But I mean, point there being is that what was so strange about this one, right? This movie, I'm just gonna say this final piece about it, is that the thing, the person who made it, Elizabeth Banks, who is a really good actress, she has fucked up the marketing completely of this movie because she's like the director too. Because it's like she didn't realize that the reason people went to watch Charlie's Angels was because it was supposed to be goofy and funny, and the ladies were sexy. You know, that was sort of the point why I watched it, and that was probably the same reason people watched it in the 50s and 60s as well. So now, when she tried to do this girl power message in the film, it just no one cared. And then she also said in part of her marketing, she said, if you're a man, don't go and watch this movie. And anyone, it's also very dumb because I mean, I remember that I think that's also what you meant. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like rolling a critical one, literally. Here's the thing, because one of the first things I learned in marketing when I was studying it was that, or part of my bigger course, this wasn't my main focus. Anyway, was that you should never, ever, ever, ever say, do not buy this product as part of your advertisement. Never do that. Like, it was like we had a whole almost like 10 or 20 minutes in this class, like of just being told, never say this. And then this woman, who's like higher up in the Hollywood aristocracy, says it. And it's like the most dumbest thing I ever said because here's the thing, if a consumer hears don't buy this, most of them will go, oh, okay, cool. They won't even get angry because they will just think that you're being honest and like, okay, oh sure, I shouldn't buy it then, sure. And then they don't think about it, you know? Mm, mm. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Mm. No, I agree completely. Like, and it is exactly like you said. Like in niche circumstances, it works. Because I mean, the wizard game, the very, very naughty, bad wizard game. That one, I mean, I have never seen. It was the most strangest thing. The whole thing around it, you know, that people were like so angry about it, and then like complaining about it, and then it sold. I mean, it was like a slam hit or something. It was like it broke sale records and everything. Like, so it's the funniest. Yes. And the thing is, like, even in the game, like, one of the, like, I wouldn't say main characters, but one of the major side characters is a trans woman, you know? So, exactly, they're gonna, like, get so angry, they were just gonna refund it or something. But anyway, I wanted to ask you, when you search strong female characters, what did you get on Google? Yeah, well, it's strange. I wouldn't say it's about Lara Croft, and I can't speak on the. Okay, I actually realized I'm not gonna. I can't really speak that much on them at all because I will be talking out my ass. But the middle one, like I never play that, and it looks really boring to me. Or is it? Ah, okay. No. However, I would buy a V, like a Nintendo to play Zelda, but I mean, we'll. What do you? Okay, I'm sorry. I was saving time. I should obviously call it Nintendo's the game entertainment system, Legend of Zelda, the game. I should obviously call it like this. What do you mean? Is that what this is about? I mispronounced the word. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Okay, I thought you were annoyed that I just shortified it, so I wouldn't have to say the Legend of Zelda every time. I'm gonna call it Ultra Giga Shad based game. No, but anyway, no, but I get like a lot of. I remember like because the way I pronounce things. But I mean, to be fair, not to start some shit here, but I mean, we both don't pronounce things right. I think if someone was listening to the stream who's a native English speaker, they're probably clawing their eyes out. No, it's like the word sword. Like that's something Swedish people take a lot of issue with, like to say it because the word for sword in Swedish is svärd, so we pronounce the W or the V, and so we think when we see the word, we think it's yeah sword. We think you say sword, but it's sword. You don't pronounce W. So and then you have the hardest one, and this is something I hear a lot of people. But so this is not just a Swedish thing. But how do you the street where Harry Potter lives? How do you pronounce it? Yeah, just Google street Potter. What did you say? It's almost right, but you also yeah. Or no, you got wrong because you said Privé Drive, right? It's Privet. Yes, it's Privet. Privet Drive. No, no, Privet. Yes, you pronounce the T. So yeah, here's the thing. I thought it was pronounced private drive because I thought it was no. But here's the thing. English has like different like they will spell it a certain way, but it's pronounced the same as something else. And So we had this big debate about this, and then I called. No, no, this was in Australia, and yeah, exactly. Everyone in Sweden debated this. Like everyone just ganged up in this big fucking city, and we all just had a debate for 5 days. Anyway, but anyway, so we had to call this one of our friends who was like the biggest fucking Harry Potter geek, and we hadn't told him about our, our disagreement, and we just said, drive in the film. That's what I heard. I heard him say private drive, not private drive. That's why I pronounce it as private drive. Oh, cool. No, but here's the thing. What if J.K. Rowling herself says no, it's pronounced private drive? But then, listen, if she heard 1 second of your voice, she would just end it anyway. So I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna keep saying J.K. Rowling. I don't care. She Here's the thing. If she says no, it's actually private drive. But then a fucking scholar of English, some linguist expert says no. The way you spelt this is private. Then we don't get anywhere. So I will argue that you can use the film if you want. But anyway, regardless. Okay, seriously. This is the right argument. I am right. You are wrong. Everyone else is wrong. I am right. There you go. It's pronounced private drive. That's it. That's my other argument. All I know is that if Tolkien had fucking heard, like sat down and seen the whole film, and he heard them say everything, he would probably start crying or something. Because, and here's the thing, they might even get it right, like sort of, but it's not exactly right because he was a fucking linguistic, like that was his profession, linguistics. So I mean, to him, if I say like I don't know, like what is it, eru iluvatar, or something like this, and I say it's a perfect example, right? And if I say iluvatar, but it's actually iluvatar, then it's gonna be like super pissed at me and like kill me or something, in a very British posh way, you know, it's going to be very excruciating and it's going to take a long time as he explains to me like weird things about trees and stuff, intrinsic details and stuff. But anyway, because here's the thing, when I was a kid, I heard it being pronounced one way, then other people are pronouncing it another way. So I don't know. I would need to sit down and actually hear him pronounce his own name. Then I'm gonna use that one and say this is how I pronounce his name. I just know, all I know that is that you do not say Tolkien. You say Tolkien. So or something like this. Why it's not Tolkien? Because that's not how we pronounce it. It's Tolkien. Or what is it? No, no. Wait, are you saying it's Tolkien? Is that how you're saying it? No, because I've heard it being pronounced by like people who study books and stuff, you know? Like scholars. What are you talking? So who would know? Okay, who would know more about how to pronounce his name? Like a professor of English literature, or like a biologist or something? Probably Tolkien then, or it's how you pronounce the K, I guess. But I mean, I would have to. I mean, if someone was like really assman about it, then and you're reaching that limit, I would have to listen to himself pronounce his name and like how do you pronounce when he himself like says how we're supposed to say it. Then I'm gonna go. That's how I pronounce it. But right now, Jake, no, dude, do you? All I will say is this: European names. If you saw my full name, you would not know how to pronounce it, and you would say the same thing like, "What is this here? What is that here?" So I mean, um, yeah, I mean, Polish people will have like a bunch of consonants and stuff in their name, and then it's something like soul. It's just vowels anyway, and it's like, why are the consonants there anyway? So it was actually Tolkien. That's great. Mm, yes. No, it's not stupid. It's European. Show your ancestors some fucking respect. Dude, you have been the one clowning about not clowning. Sorry, that's not the right word. But you're the one who been like, huh? It's funny how you pronounce Zelda. Huh, it's funny how you pronounce this. Huh, let's talk about Private Drive for 5 hours. Like what? And I'm the one. Private Drive. I meant. I said. How dare you do it again? You're the one. Like, it's so funny to me how Swedish people are like complaining about this. It's like you're the one who's been complaining. Is this like what is it? These white girls are complaining about? They call it darvoing. Have you heard about it? Oh man, darvoing is like when it would be like, okay, let's say this, like let's say I punch you, and then you're saying, "Whoa, Gagger," or "Why are you punching me?" And I say, "Actually, I was feeling sad. How dare you not respect that I'm feeling sad? You should actually accept that punch because I'm so sad. Aren't you a good friend for accepting this punch? Do you hate me?" So Darwing is like when you victimize someone, and then you are actually the victim, even though you victimized someone, sort of. Darwing. No, dude, like I'm actually gonna fucking lose my shit if you're gonna be like, is it actually pronounced that way? How do you know it's pronounced? I'm gonna actually shoot myself like on live on air. Like, uh, what would it be like? Darwing, I think, but I might be. Yeah, it's Darwing. Gaslighting. It's about gas. No, the thing is, like, I just heard a bunch of white girls talk about it, and and now people might be like, "Oh, why is he bringing that up?" I am a white girl at heart, so don't take it the wrong way. But yes, finally, I can finally drink my fucking mocha latte without feeling, you know, oh man. Dude, I have. Oh my god! I just remembered. I have the fucking. I need to tell this story. So there was this guy I knew named. Let's call him John and Jack. John and fucking I don't know Dan. John and Dan. So John was sitting at a coffee shop, and then he heard someone say that a drink was ready, a coffee drink, and it was something like caramel fried, like something like latte with fried caramel with sprinkled, with extra sprinkled whipped cream with a cherry on top, like something like this, super sugary, super. Then John says like, huh, I can't wait to see what white girl comes picks it up. And it is our friend Dan who comes and picks it up. This is so fucking funny. Like, so John is just waiting for this super white guy. This is our friend Dan. He's like kind of a big white blonde guy. Like he's a pretty big guy, you know. Oh, I just remember that we were talking about white girls, but exactly. But anyway, to go back to the topic at hand, before you wanted to go on this language tangent. Um, so when it comes to how do I say this? Like, it's always been like it's so strange to me that like because what I wanted to say that really wasn't quite right was that the examples you brought up about strong female, led games, whatever we said, they brought up those examples. Lara Croft, I will wholeheartedly agree with because they went with some interesting directions with her characters and stuff, with her character. And but the other two I haven't played. But The Last of Us, I don't know, like this. That was actually thinking about playing it, but then the second one came out, and when I heard the story of the second one and what happens in it, so I have no problem with them, like, because there was a lot of people being angry that like one of the main characters was this big, bulky woman or something, but and they got really angry at that. Like, not everyone, of course, but yes, dude, dude, they would have the people, and now the same people complaining about that are playing Baldur's Gate. So everything works in mysterious ways. But anyway, this was like more the way they told the story that like just didn't sit right with me at all. I was like, dude, who would edit a story like this? Sounds horrible. So that's why I never played it. But it seems that it's so strange. This is something that's been brought up a lot. That to a lot of people, like, yeah, continue. No, no, it's very dependent on the story in it. I mean, the reason I played what was the game? Here's the thing: I don't remember why I played Life is Strange originally, but it wasn't because it's like a woman on the cover. I just no, I remember. No, I remember. I downloaded the first episode was free, so I downloaded it because I had heard from another friend that was good, that it was really good, and then I played it. I was like, yeah, this is some good fucking shit. So, but the thing about that game, right, is that she's because if we compare that main character in Life is Strange, I know you haven't played it, to uh, the other three you brought up. Something very jarring comes up, but that is the main character of Life is Strange. She's not like physically strong at all. She's like very tiny and small, even because she's like 18. But even the people in the game, they're like, "Are you like 12 or something?" To her all the time. She doesn't look like she's 12, but she looks like very skinny and very small. So the thing is about her is that she outwits people with her smarts, and that's like how she levels the playing field. So it's never like she goes up and beats someone up, and it seems like, yeah, that's also very important to mention. She has a superpower that makes it. Yes, yes, true. Yeah, I mean, I agree. But anyway, what I liked about it is that, I mean, I liked all those things. I liked the puzzles of it, but what I found so interesting is that a lot of people they are saying that the reason why people what's gone wrong with like these strong female-led games, right, is that they are sort of becoming these stereotypes of men, like the women, and like they're being taking on male characteristics. And then it's like, hang on a minute, because to me, I don't like those movies either or stories either, right? Not really. I mean, if it's just a big burly man just punching his way through something, it's not interesting, you know? Because even James Bond had to use his brain to solve the struggles he had and stuff, right? Yes. So that's the way you said it. You get a gun, you shoot some people, then you realize you have shot the wrong people. At least it's not a fucking Japanese game, because if it was a Japanese game, he would shoot himself as well at the end or something. Mm. Yeah, to be fair, like it is like that. It do be like that, right? But yeah, no, the issue I realized what I screwed up because I was talking about all media texts, right? Not just video games. But I mean, but to scale it down just to games themselves, yeah, sure, I would agree with you because there are some, right, that, but they are never become famous or anything. I even think I would even. Have you played that one? What is it? It's like what it. It's like something like you're in Soviet times or something. Like it's and there's these two robot ballerinas or something. Yes, me too. No, I mean that one. I don't know if that one is like that or not. I haven't ever played. As I said, I never played it. But I remember what I was gonna say is that so in games it's like different. I guess it's like usually female characters and male characters are written really well because even you could even argue that in Cyberpunk, right? It does make like V can be a woman or a man in that game because of the future where we all have like exoskeletons, you know. So it so then I agree, but no, but the thing that I wanted, I guess not wanted to say, that's the wrong way of saying it, is like it's just sad that it's like that, you know, that like in media texts, it's just like women, how to say, like they just portray women as just these really bad men, that I would never watch, because even in like Terminator, right now I'm expanding it to all films and stuff. But I mean, variety is good, right? So I mean, even if they're like, I never like, because I was never like that bothered if women were like, if there was just like women were just the eye candy in the game. I was never that bothered. But if you're talking about like there was like a lot of naughty scenes and stuff with women and stuff, like, and that's all they were there for. Sure, I would argue that that's not a clever move. Like, it's not a clever move through capitalism, and it's not a clever move to get people to play your game, right? Because you want more representation in your game. So if you just have women being like eye candy, it's like, okay, why would I play this? Like, you know. So no, I wouldn't say I miss it, but it's just strange that it's been like the like, yeah. I guess. Oh yeah. No, I mean, no, no, oh yeah. That. Sorry, I just picture this aura. Like every time you watch porn, you just get this aura around you that just kills people. But anyway, that is why. Yeah, exactly. Like this is why insults are so dangerous, man. That's why they need to be stopped immediately. Uh, Here's the thing, though. I agree with you that it is silly. Like the people care about single player games. Like who the hell cares? Like how women are dressed in them and stuff. However, I would say, I mean, then it becomes preferences because we can just pick how people dress in the game. Then it's not a problem. But if it, like every single woman was dressed in bikini armor in a game, I would feel kind of pulled out of the experience. I would be like, okay, what is this game? Like, what the fuck am I playing? I came here for the story. I didn't. If I wanted to play like one of those games, I would play one of those games. I wouldn't play fucking Fallout. Because if I played Fallout, then like Todd Howard just came down and said, "No, all women are gonna have bikini armors now." It would be just what the hell am I playing? Like I'm here to play Fallout. But to address the point, there is a steelman to the argument, but it's a really bad steelman. It would be something like that's the thing. It's such a bad steelman, which is why I don't agree with it. I agree. I am more or less on the same page as you, right? But they would probably argue something like it sets what is it called? It sets unrealistic expectation on women in real life. But then the counter is so easy. It's like, yes, but it's fiction. It's not real. These women are not real. Nora from Fallout 4 can't, beat up a man with her fists either. Like someone in a big power armor either, if we take Fallout 4 as an example. Oh my god, did you see that? Did you see that fucking post on Twitter when they did this? They who was it? It was a company. Was it Dove or Axe or something? They did this. They were complaining about some video game how the women were like dressed, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna fix this," and then they did a response, and all the women were like fat instead, but still dressed skimpily, and it was like, but like all you did was make them fat. That's all you did. Like, what are you complaining about? Why, like, so yeah, that's why. Here's the thing. It's like, I mean, in the broader sense, it becomes capitalist. If you have a girl that's really hot in a game and there's a lot of hot girls in a game, more people will play it because the biggest consumer base of games are men. So, like, no, I agree. Like, as I said, even the Steelman is so bad. Like, it's a very weak Steelman. But who knows? Maybe we'll meet someone who can come up with a really good Steelman, and we could have or an argument, a counter rather, and we could have a really productive, constructive conversation about it. Because sure, I agree that you should have more representation in your game, but I don't agree with as you said, if someone wants to make a game with just freaking big everything hourglass women with skimpy armor, go for it. Make that game. I don't think you should be punished for it. But I think I have a final question for you that I think will leave us on a more positive note. Which is your favorite female character in a video game? It doesn't have to be a main character, but okay, cool. No, it's fine. It's fine. Like everyone, has their own, how to say, preferences and everything. So I'm not saying I'm not trying to say I'm not doing the fucking. You picked a romance novel. I'm not doing that meme, because I mean, what is it like? One of my favorite female characters of all time is Katniss Everdeen, and she's in she's also in. Although there's no erotica in the Hunger Games, it is still like a romance novel. Like that's not. I mean, it's a romance novel, so I was just wanted to clarify that. But as you know, my favorite one, I think it's hard, right? Because it would be a tie between Max in Life is Strange and V from Cyberpunk. They're just so good, both of them. So it's impossible for me to pick. I mean, if you, yeah, which is the right one. Yeah, which is the right one, because I picked it. Okay, to be serious, I mean, to be fair, I still stand by those answers. But if we would just go with fucking, let's say, stories that don't have as much, what is it, choices, and we go, yes, in video games. Yes, I know exactly who. It's this. It was when I was a kid. I played this game, so I just want to give the context. So I don't sound like a super big creep here. But in Legend of Zelda, sorry, is it Zelda? Halda, The Legend of Halda, okay. Wind Waker, fucking The Legend of Super Mario Brothers. In that game, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker, there's this bird woman thing that she's just this musician, sort of, a music teacher, and you have to she becomes like a sage that prays in a temple all alone, and she's really cool. I have to pick her because she's really wholesome and stuff, and you really actually feel like you want to protect her and stuff in the game. But to be fair, it was I played it last time when I was 13 or something, 12 or 13. No, her sister is is it Tamara or something in that game? I don't remember anymore. I just remember Medley is the bird name. Is the bird woman's name. But yeah, I just remember it was a really wholesome story, but also very bittersweet, and it's really sad because here's the thing: you have to leave her in this temple, right? And then you just go to the next temple. And it always felt so wrong to just leave her there because there's a lot of monsters and stuff around. So because because she's a fucking musician, right? What the fuck is she gonna do, right? I mean, Link is a hero. That's so. Yeah, true. She just uses Tasha's hideous laughter. Done. Anyway, the thing is so what I did is that I left the dungeon and then I went all the way through the dungeon again to find her to see what happens to her, and she's just, I don't know. It was so sad. She just stands there playing the song. That she doesn't say anything. She just looks at you when you're there. So they have added the coding that you can go back and see her again, right? But she doesn't talk to you. And I was like, This is so heartbreaking because she's just there, like, and she like sacrifices her life for, she literally sacrifices herself to save Hyrule, right? Whereas Link, when you think about it, all Link has to do is sort of just, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go out, be an adventurer. I'm safe out there, you know, with people. Like she's completely alone in this fucking temple with zombies, by the way. Yeah, she was a cool character. Like if it just, this is one I can come up on top of my head, where you don't have that much freedom to like select choices and everything. When it's more linear. And her story is like as linear as they come. You have no choices on her in the part she's in the story. They don't say she shows up on the boat on like it's a big pirate ship that's part of the game, and she shows up on that boat, and then you never see her again. Yeah, so she survives, but you don't know what happens to her after. I think I could probably look into it, but I don't know what happens to her after. And it's like really because Ganon, like the bad guy, right? This sage, the Medley's predecessor, her soul was eaten by Ganon. And then you leave this little girl thing there in this dungeon, or little girl, she's like Link's age, but you get my point. You leave her in this fucking dungeon where there's this fucking madman eating souls lurking around. And it's like, exactly. Oh, but yeah. Anyway, it was nice talking to you, man. But I need to go. But take care, man.